My good people, thank you very much for honoring me by watching this on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer, on your television screen. I'm honored to be in your life. I want to start with a basic introduction of who I am and why I do what I do. My name is King Ifeanyi Chukwu Obukoruro Ajanin Kembu Isimilina Solora Nankano. I am from Abubu in Nkanu. They call it Nkanu local government area, Nkanu West local government area of Enugu State, but I am an Abubu man from the Umo Noboko kindred of Abubu, who hails from Nkanu land, and I am a clan member of the Nkanu people wherever they stretch, not limited to a local government. And by extension, I am an Igbo man by tribe. I am a Nigerian by nationality. I am an African by heritage. And I am a black man wherever it goes. Those things first, and I still remain a human being. My priorities, therefore and consequently, are set in line with my identity. So I build myself to represent my people, the black peoples of the world, the Africans, the Nigerians, the Igbos, the Nkanu man, the Abugo man, the Oruro, right? Many people always wonder why I am not interested in politics or why I don't go into politics. The things I do aren't ambition, they're vision. I woke up as a young man, growing up in Nigeria partly, growing up in the United States partly, in line with my dual nationality and dual citizenship. I was born in the US, raised half and half in both instances, and woke up to visions and ideas that didn't make sense for my age. From as little as 7 years old, I've started drawing multinational corporations. And as I grew up, I discovered that I knew things I shouldn't know, things I couldn't know, things that I did not work to know. Blessings from God, gifts, abilities that have enabled me to piece together the fabric of our reality as if it was a simple math, 1 + 1, 2. And I've looked at the conditions of my people across the board, having lived in the United States, having traveled to over 20 countries, having lived in Nigeria, and doing business currently on a global level, participating in core finance at all levels. And I've seen our situation to be a man-made facade of our ideal reality, which for whatever reason, God and nature find it fit, or responsibility, punishment, I don't know, to give me the tools to solve that problem. And the solution to that problem is in our united ability to strive at what destroyed us. Often when people ask me to go into politics, I'm not interested because it's not necessary. Our current status is half about our social fabric, our moral code, our social dynamics that do not allow us to love each other, to be symbiotic across our many tribes and religions, a lot of which are foreign dynamics that were introduced to us. So I gave you the example, I'm an Nkanu man. They call where I'm from Nkanu West local government area. There's also an Nkanu East local government area. There's also Nkalago. There are also Enugu North, Enugu South, all with Nkanu people inside. I recognize myself as an Nkanu man. No divisions of those political divides, geological constructs of Western design that impale us. The same happens to us in religion, the same happens to us in so many things. When I was starting this video, someone told me, don't drink the palm wine. Because invariably, our people who are of different religious dynamics will go, I don't want to do business with him. Please, I want to introduce you to myself as I am. I am an unapologetic Igbo man who is in love with all things Nigeria from whatever tribal divide, who will die for any African for whatever reason, because we are one and the same. and the things that divide us are nothings. And when we strip ourselves of those nothings, we can unite to conquer. Today I want to introduce you to my Vision Unlimited 2025 grand scheme, master plan, agenda, whatever you call it, an extraction from my overall ambitions for our development. They aren't necessarily ambitions, they're visions, they're formulas. Put together, they enable us to completely revise our reality. I focus more so on the social and economic paradigms of our lives, because those are the things that I believe we can easily change. And I believe when they change, the political framework changes too, because we are ruled by the C students in our society. And what it takes to get a C in our society is so terribly bad that the C students are the equivalent of F students in other societies. So if we can upgrade to a point where our C students are at least the same as German C students, I think we're doing quite fine. Anyway, jokes aside, Ga Eso Welu. That's the little brochure that introduces you to a grand scheme of things that I'm doing. Again, another thing people always ask me is, why not simplify? Why not take one project at a time? We're taking 28 projects, costing $28 billion. That in dollar is $28.28 billion. That must be done over the course of the next 3 years. We started in July 1st of this year. So in July 1st of 2028, we should have gone quite far. We could deduce it to, dilute it to something much less, but it would not shape the fabric of our lives. So we've taken what it's going to take to change the game. And that's what I'm introducing you to. In Igbo, Ga Eso Welu means two things. Ga Eso Welu, will you be one of those who partakes? Ga Eso Welu, will you be one of those who owns? And I mean both when I say Ga Eso Welu. For the last 14 years, I've been living in Nigeria at all costs, piecing together what it would take to change our lives. My focus is on comprehensive development of Africa and the true liberation of the black man from default servitude. Many times they say you can't reinvent the wheel. I want to reinvent the wheel because we are the wheel. And I'm not okay with being the wheel. This grand scheme of things covers the needs in agriculture, in hospitality, in healthcare, in education, across the board, with a focus on Nigeria as a nexus for Africa's development. So for my brothers and sisters who I grew up with in the United States, who are Ghanaian, who are Ethiopian, no, this is not a Nigerian thing. This is not an Igbo thing. This is that we must have a starting line where we consolidate effort and we do drastic transformation that proves to our people what is possible. Our first project is the Opinsuka Agricultural Commune, a 5,500 hectare agricultural community designed to give our people a model for returning back to the rural communities. If we can create a rural community where when someone is farming in a rural community, they have 24-hour electricity, clean, pure drinking water at the tap, incredible security of lives and property, wonderful education systems in a village. What more can we do in the city centers of Lagos and Abuja, in Addis Ababa, in Johannesburg? We start from the foundation because that is where the rot started, and that's why our first priority is to feed our people. It is an embarrassment that the continent that has the greatest percentage of arable land in the world, the largest freshwater reserves in the world, the largest youth population in the world, complains of hunger. I used to watch when I was in America, videos of people asking me to send $1 so they can feed my people. people who are naked with flies flying around them. Why are flies flying around us? And the sad reality is that 1 kilometer away from my office, as I'm speaking to you, I can find people starving. And there are many people who are very fat around me, excuse my French, who are suffering from ulcer because they're eating all the wrong things. Our people are deeply malnourished, and this is not the Biafran war. We are not in North Korea. We are not under sanctions. And so my first thing is, how do we consolidate so that our brothers in America, our brothers in Jamaica, our brothers in Alaba, our brothers anywhere, let's consolidate an effort and develop massive farming institution in Opi, Ekwebe, in Halomona, Neki, Suzo, Axis of Nsoka, with a focus on feeding the Nsoka people. We estimate that we'll spend $100 million or equivalent of 101 million. My uncle likes to say, I'll explain that in the captions. Feed our people. Feed our people. And when we do it and do it well, we can replicate it in other places. So what we are doing in Nigeria, in this first scheme of work, is sample material. And I'll get into the projects.